Hello, everyone. This is Tom Fox. I would like to welcome you to the Sunday Book Review. The Sunday Book Review is the series where I discuss books which impact the compliance practitioner, the legal professional, and the business professional. I hope you will enjoy this episode. The Sunday Book Review is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network. The Sunday Book Review for August 13, 2023, the Locked Room Mystery Edition. We continue our summer murder mystery series by focusing on books that are locked room mysteries. Of course, the grandfather and greatest practitioner of this format was John Dickson Carr, one of the most prominent mystery novelists during the golden age of detective fiction. A defining feature of this type of work was not who done it or why done it, but how done it. And lockroom mysteries can be also impossible crimes, miracle problems, and they are a ton of fun. So today I thought it would be fun to look at some of the top locked room mysteries that some you may not think of as locked room mysteries. The first one is Misery by Stephen King. This is in a locked room literally, and both the movie and the book in this case are superb. And author Paul Sheldon crashes his car during a blizzard. A Good Samaritan nurse who seemingly who is a fan finds him and takes him home. What follows is legendary and indeed entirely claustrophobic. Next up, The Locked Room by Ellie Griffith. This is a book in the fantastic Ruth Galloway series, and the locked room element of this book comes by way of the pandemic lockdown of 2020. Ruth Galloway and her partner investigate a series of murder-suicides connected to a fascinating archaeological site. Next up, Shutter Island by Dennis Lehane. Once again, a great book and a great movie. And if you are a fan of Lehane, and you should be, Shutter Island is famous for its twist, but it stands up to both a Gothic element and the isolated island part of the story. One of my personal favorites is And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. In this one, people go to an island and they're killed off one by one. And the mystery, of course, is who is the murderer and who's going to be left standing. It's a great book, and it's a great movie, whichever version you might watch. And finally, A Dangerous Crossing by Rachel Rhys. This locked room is on a ship, a luxury liner crossing the Atlantic, and the murder or murderers on board the ship become palpable throughout this book. It's a lot of fun. The ship liner was ubiquitous in between the wars and indeed thereafter, and this one is a ton of fun as well. Into the Compliance Podcast Network, it's Two Gurus Talk Compliance, where with my friend and colleague Christie Grant Hart, we take a look at some of the top compliance commentary around. It's a long form, up to 1 hour podcast, but if you're interested in compliance, if you're interested in Christie Grant Hart and myself talking about compliance, this would be a great podcast for you to check in on. It premiered on March 10th on the Compliance Podcast Network. I know you'll enjoy this latest offering. Additionally, we have Data-Driven Compliance, which is a podcast where I look at the use of data in compliance programs. This is perhaps the most cutting-edge podcast I have going right now. And if you're interested in how data can be used, how to structure a data analytics program, what tools are available out there for you, and how compliance practitioners are using data, this is certainly the podcast for you. So check out Data-Driven Compliance, all on the Compliance Podcast Network. The Sunday Book Review is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.